Hello viewers, welcome to our lecture series on marketing management, and in that very series we have been talking about marketing of services. So in the previous lecture of mine I told you about three extended P's, that is people, process and physical evidence, and we had a long discussion on what exactly is the need of having these three additional P's in case of marketing of services. So now I will be extending our discussion on those 7 P's. There is a very pertinent question that how to use these 7 P's in marketing of services, because we have been reminding time and again about people, process and physical evidence, that this is very important. If you go to a simple the shop of an auto mechanic where you have to get your motorbike or your car serviced, you always remember that guy, the person who offered the services with all proficiency, humility and politeness. So you always remember that kind of person who is offering you best of services. So no matter what name the person is having, and at times you take their personal numbers also, because you feel that whenever the similar kind of need arises, I need to contact the same person. That speaks volumes about the role of people who are into the services industry, who are actually offering the services. And of course the process and physical evidence, they also support the P of that is called people. So people, process, physical evidence, when we combine them together, they make the experience of services better, enjoyable and reliable to the customers. So the question comes, how to use these 7 P's. So we have to keep in mind two important things. Number one, we need to do overall or holistic strategic assessment, and the second is we have to go for specific service implementation. So I will be starting with the specific service implementation. What we have to do, we need to ask certain question to ourselves as a marketer. Number one, who is my client, who is my customer? Suppose I am going to teach a student of undergraduate, I need to understand what are their need sets. Unless I know who is my client, who is my student, whether he or she is from undergraduate level or postgraduate level or doctoral level, so or they are doing some research and they need my support. So I have to define and design my services according to their requirement. So who the customer is, that is the first question. And once I understand, then of course the second question is answered, what is the service which I am going to offer. Then comes our role of designing, defining and crafting the service quality. How effectively does the service marketing mix for a service communicate or its benefits and quality, the way I am going to communicate it to my clients. What changes, improvements are needed, and that is also very much part and parcel of specific service implementation. So once I have defined, I should keep on working on making requisite changes or improvements which are very much needed into my service formulation and implementation. And when I talk about overall strategic assessment, we have to answer certain questions again. How effective is the firm's service marketing mix? To what extent my people, process, physical evidence, product, price, place, promotion all have been effective? Then is the mix well aligned with the overall vision and strategy of the company? My company's vision, mission, objective, goal, target is something different, but the mix is not planned accordingly. So we need to get it aligned, that whatever our vision, mission, goal and target is, accordingly our marketing mix should also get aligned. What are the strengths and weaknesses in terms of the 7 P's, that we need to understand, whether we lack in terms of people or we lack in terms of process, or people, process are okay but we lack in terms of physical evidence. We are not able to exhibit the kind of services we are offering. So once we identify the weak points, of course we can go for making requisite improvements into the services which we are designing and offering. Now when we talk about services marketing, there is a very popular term which comes in front of us, specifically speaking when we talk about services marketing framework. Popularly that is known as the services marketing triangle. Now what is this services marketing triangle? When I was student like you, I used to define it as a combination of 3 different types of marketing strategies. So this triangle is coming up with the 3 different types of marketing strategies. One is internal marketing, second is external marketing, and third one is interactive marketing. So these three marketing strategies, when they are combined together, they actually make services marketing triangle, and that is why we call it as a services marketing framework. So it is a strategic framework which actually shows how the company or the management is going to how the management, the customers and the employees of an organization, they collaborate with each other to develop, promote and deliver services. So we are finding it as a co-marketing. The services marketing triangle talks about co-marketing, where the not only the marketers, not only the service providers, but also the consumers and employees, they join their hands together, they collaborate with each other to develop, promote and deliver services. Imagine the beauty of the scenario where your customer is also cooperating with you in defining the quality of services you are going to offer. And here comes the role of stakeholder approach. Since I'm a teacher, I can talk about brand building of a university or of an educational institution. It is not only the teacher, it is not only the staff which is going to build the brand of a particular university. It is also the students who are going to emerge as a key stakeholder, and all stakeholders, when they collaborate with each other to develop, promote and decide the value of that particular institution, then only we actually create a history in the field of services. So this services marketing triangle is actually a combination of all three stakeholders, I would say. If I have to put it as a diagram, it is one of the most popular diagram which you would find in any of the books or study material which talks about the services marketing. If you look at this triangle, at the top is the company, of course, that is the organization. On one at another corner you find employees, and on the third one you find the customers. And if you look at the direction of the services marketing triangle, what it speaks, it talks about offering the services. If you look at the employee to customer flow, what we are actually promoting, we are actually delivering the promise. Whatever promise we have actually made to our customers, we are going to deliver. Then company to employee, what you are going to deliver, the way you have to interact. Then company to customers, what you are going to offer. So this services marketing triangle is actually a combination of internal marketing, external marketing and what you call as interactive marketing. So I'm going to define this triangle or this framework in detail, what exactly we mean by this particular triangle. So for a services to be successful, three different types of marketing strategies are being adopted. The first one, as I told you, is called external marketing. What is this external marketing? That I would tell you in detail, because it is normally in case of products we have been using external marketing only. But this triangle is giving us three different strategies: external, internal and interactive marketing. So we have to understand that these three marketing strategies must be implemented successfully. So if we talk about the external marketing, all external marketing initiatives of a firm which are placed on the right side of the triangle. If you look at the triangle, it is on the right side of the triangle. They are used to raise customer expectations and make promises to them about what would be delivered. So when we are talking to our customers as a company and making our promises that yes, this is what we are going to offer to you, that is called making promises on behalf of the company, that these are the service sets, these are the services which we are going to offer, that is called as external marketing. So we all understand that from marketer to the customer, it is called external marketing. But at the bottom of the triangle, if you look, we find another term called interactive marketing, or we also call it real time marketing. It is between the employees and the customers. So this is the point where the firm's employees, representatives or anybody who is offering the services on behalf of the company, they are either going to fulfill the need of the customers or they are going to disregard their commitments. So this is this point becomes very important, because whatever promises your company has made, that has to be kept by these people who are coming as a service provider. So this is the point where the firm's employees representatives, they are going to either fulfill or disregard the commitments of the company. So if promises are not kept, of course the answer is known to us, what will happen, the outcome is known to us. Customers eventually would feel dissatisfied, and the net outcome is, or the result is, that they are going to quit. They will not be visiting your place again for the services, because whatever promises your company made, the service providers, while doing the interactive marketing, they did not fulfill their commitments. They did not fulfill their commitments. That is why they are not going to stay for long. Then comes internal marketing, which is between the company and the employees. So it has a crucial function to play, as we all understand that it has found the place on the left side of the triangle, and some of the measures management takes to help the service providers fulfill their commitments include hiring, training, motivating, rewarding, and providing tools and technology. So it is the point where, while doing the internal marketing, marketer need to communicate that this is what we are supposed to offer as a services to our customers. And once the value set, the services, the key values which we are going to, which we have promised to our customers is known to the employees, they can come up with their own problems, that yes, for this for the achievement of these goals, we need certain tools, we need certain types of training, we need some reward mechanism, we need some tools and technology to offer the kind of services to ensure that customers feel satisfied. All this is termed as internal marketing. So, my dear learners, unless we combine internal, external and interactive, all three in same direction, we cannot find the results or we cannot find the expected outcomes. We can't achieve, we can't attain our requisite goals. So, the marketer is not going to succeed unless its services personnel are competent and they are willing to fulfill their promises made. Whatever promises your company has made, they have to honor them, they have to respect them. So, all three sides of the triangle, they are equally important. You cannot say that external marketing is important, let us ignore internal marketing, or why to care about the interactive marketing. So, we have to understand all three sides of the triangle, they are equally important. If you remove any one of them, the triangle is lost. So it becomes, you can't call it as a triangle, you can't call it as a framework. So they all three need to be aligned. So marketer has to ensure alignment among these three important marketing strategies, starting from external marketing, then internal marketing, and eventually it is resulting into the interactive marketing. I would say we should start with the internal marketing. Once we are ready with the value set and our employees are aware of what value my company is going to offer, my marketer is going to offer to their prospective customers, then they can communicate it to their customers by the way of external marketing, and that would reflect as a result while they go for interacting with the customers, performing as a component of interactive marketing, or what you call as real time marketing. So we all can witness from the triangle the traditional marketing mix and marketing departments, basically they address to external marketing only. We can very well understand whatever tools and techniques we have been talking about as the tools of traditional marketing strategy, they are confined to external marketing only. Although all three sides are critical to successful services marketing, and the triangle cannot be supported in the absence of any one of the sides. So we have to make a balance, we have to ensure a balance among all three dimensions of the services triangle, and that is why it has emerged as one of the most significant framework for marketing of services. Now, once we have understood and we have learnt about three different types of marketing strategies being adopted while we go for marketing of services, that is in the name of internal marketing, external marketing and interactive marketing. Now it is time for us to understand how do we deal with the consumer behavior in services, how do we define it, whether we are going to witness some kind of change in consumer buying decision process when it comes to services. So we need to understand Typically, buyers can be classified into two categories. One is the individual buyers, those who are buying in their individual capacity like you and me, and second is the organizational buying. Suppose if I am buying for my own university, that is called institutional buying or organizational buying. So, individual buyers are those who buy a particular service for their own or for family consumption or for usage. For instance, I may like to buy a some kind of annual maintenance contract, what you call as AMC, for my own personal computer, which is installed at my workstation at my home, and for that I want some AMC. Or there can be a household insurance cover for my own family. That is my personal decision. That is the place where I am looking for the individual services. So, that service contract is for individual customers, and I am buying in the capacity of an individual customers. But the same AMC, when I am going to buy for my own institution, that would be the there I would be I would be called as an organizational buyer. So, organizational buyers are those people who buy services for their organizational usage. So, it is only the people who are buying. I may be the same person who is taking an AMC for my institution, but I would not be considered as an individual buyer. For instance, my college is going to buy a similar AMC for the office computers. So, here we have to understand, irrespective of the type of buyer, the buying roles remains the same, though the number of persons who play crucial role in decision making process, that may differ. In organizational purchases, what matters is they also call it B2B buying activity, that is business to business, and it is a formalized one following a well laid out process. We have, for instance, for government institutions, we have General Financial Rules GFR, which we are supposed to follow. Suppose if we have to go for buying online, we have a portal called GEM, that is Government E-Market Portal, from which we can buy, and there is a laid out process which we are supposed to follow. There is a procedure by which we go for the technical bid, financial bid, and then finding the best alternative product or services available at the possible minimum price, because it is the public money which is being used. So, the entire process actually changes. So, the concept of buying center identified responsibilities in the purchase process is actually very well understood in organizational buying. You can understand, and it takes lots of time also, because of large number of people being involved into that process, and they have their own influences. Generally, the B2B purchase, they take longer time to minimize on perceived risk, because they always follow the laid down process, and that process itself is going to take a lot of time. So, the elements which are reviewed in the evaluation process, they might range from price, quality, reliability, and many other features. So, we all understand, as the complexity of the services offer increases, in B2B purchases the importance of confidence in service supplier increases. So, greater the complexity of the service is, the higher the complexity of the service is, the greater is the importance of confidence in service supply. So, who is the service provider, what is the reliability score of that particular service provider, that also plays a very significant role. So, this is the basic difference between the individual buying and institutional buying. Then comes, what are the steps which is being involved in consumer decision making process for services. As we all are aware that consumer buying decision process consists of certain defined steps. For instance, it can be need recognition, it can be information search, evaluation of alternatives, then buying decision, going for searching for a supplier, making a purchase, and eventually the post purchase behavior. So, typically speaking, when we talk about the buying decision making process, it actually consists of 7 different steps which is being followed by buyers in general. But the question comes, what is different in services? In case of services, you would find that it is actually classified in a different way. It is important to understand the stages of buying, because there are 3 distinct phases. There are different researchers who have contributed a lot to the services marketing strategy, and here comes the name of Fisk. Fisk has actually divided the purchase behavior into 3 distinct stages when it comes to services. The first one is basically the pre-consumption phase, second one is consumption phase, where the service we also call it as service encounter, and third one is post consumption phase. So pre-consumption, consumption, and then post-consumption. It consists of three different phases. So Fisk actually outlined the important behavioral differences with respect to service buying, with respect to when we go for buying services. So let us talk about the first stage, that is called pre-purchase stage. As the term itself is reflecting, that we are talking about this stage which is before that purchase of services. So it actually comprises of what? It includes activities which take place before the actual purchase decision is being taken. So if you ask me about what can these be, these activities are typically called problem or need recognition. So in one way or the other you would find the same steps here also, but with some differences, with some distinctions. So problem or need recognition, information search on various alternatives, and evaluation of alternatives to select the best of them. So we can we can generally say that initial three activities, that is need recognition, information search, and evaluation of alternatives, they are being classified as pre-purchase stage by the Fisk. Then at this stage what happens? At this stage the individual recognizes a need or problem whose solution usually involves a potential purchase. They understand that there is a problem, and to solve it we need to buy a particular services. So buyer actually is going to make a search for information from various sources. It can be internal source, it can be external source, and then eventually they arrive at a set of possible solutions, that is called the evoked set, and they actually analyze to just in order to select the best out of the possible options. So they are going to activate the need recognition. You can call this stage to be a stage of activating the need recognition. And here the need recognition will drive search of information regarding the available alternatives, and of course they would, once they find the alternatives, they go for evaluating it. So the need recognition may be activated by what manner? By what activity? By a physical condition. It is called a physical condition. Suppose your hunger, you are feeling hungry, and that actually activate that stage of hunger is going to activate a search for food delivery services. I am feeling hungry, so I am in search of some food delivery services. So this is called as a physical condition where I start recognizing my particular need. It can also be a an unconscious motivation or aspiration. Suppose you feel like your desire to feel good about yourself may activate the need for visiting a salon, for making a visit to a salon, or going for a just for a haircut, that you just thought of changing your hairstyle, that I want to I don't feel good in this hairstyle, and I want to make a change into that. So that is called unconscious motivation or aspiration, which is also activating your need. So there can also be some external influences, like you are sitting in your office talking to your friends, and they are talking about the servicing of air conditioners on before the onset of summer, and that also activates your need, that once you go back to your home, you also start thinking of getting the home AC serviced. Once after you found the similar kind of activity being done by your colleagues or at your workplace. So that is called activation of services stage. Then comes service encounter stage. The second stage is called as consumption stage, and it is also called as service encounter stage. So this actually arises if the outcome of the pre-purchase stage is a decision to buy a certain brand of a service. So if you are going ahead positively in the first stage, you are promoted to the second stage, you have activated your need, now you are at the second stage, that is called service encounter stage. Here what happens? The expectations of the pre-consumption stage, they are compared with the actual service delivery. So whatever expectations you have framed, formed, or formulated, that is going to be compared with the actual service delivery which is there in place, which is there in terms of alternatives. So this is why we call that this stage is also called as a service encounter stage, that you have your own set of expectations, but the extent of the kind of services which are available for delivery, that also need to be compared while we go for the final stage, that is the third stage, that is called the the post purchase stage. So in this stage, in the service encounter stage, we actually compare the services, and whichever is considered to be the best, that is going to be opted and availed. So we avail that services, that is called the purchase. After pre-purchase, we have the consumption stage, the second stage. Then comes a final stage. This stage is equally important. Some people think once services are being availed, what is the point of talking about the final stage? What is the point of talking about post purchase stage? So this is a stage which involves the evaluation of the services encounter. Either you evaluate it to be a positive service experience or negative service experience, or at times you feel satisfied. You are neither positive nor negative, you are neutral. So depending upon your service experience at this post purchase stage, you start giving your reactions, you come up with your own evaluation, your own set of evaluation. So it actually results in a decision on whether to purchase the same service again or not. We are not going to avail the similar kind of services. So whether we will avail the same services again or not, that is based on the service consumption being satisfactory or unsatisfactory or dissatisfactory. If I am happy, I would repeat the same service provider. If I am not happy, I would definitely go for the first stage again. I would again try to find the best alternatives, the best possible alternatives, because the selection which was made by me in the previous decision making process did not result or could not result into the satisfactory outcomes. So these are the three important stages. So in services marketing, the post purchase stage, or what you call as final stage, is very much significant. It plays a very crucial role, because here you do not find any tangible product. It is only the satisfaction which we are getting, and that is why the post purchase feeling which I am having after the purchase of a specific services, that becomes a deciding factor for repeating the same service provider or not, or either we are going to repeat the same service provider, or we may think of changing our service provider. Now after having discussed all these things, the last point which comes here is factors influencing buying behavior. I will not go into the details of it in this very segment of my lectures. I would discuss in detail in further discussions on the topic, but we have to understand that there are a number of factors or variables which affect the buying decision process. So those factors play a very significant role, but if I have to classify them into categories, I would say they can be classified into four major categories. For instance, the first one is situational factor, second one is buyer's socio-cultural factors, third one is personal factor, and fourth one is psychological factors. So these are the four broad factors which actually affect the buying decision process, which I would discuss with you in detail in the next lecture of mine on marketing of services. I hope you could understand whatever we had discussed about the marketing of services in this very segment of my lectures on the topic. Thank you so much.